It's May 10th, 2026. Welcome to YesToHellWith.com. Happy Mother's Day to all mothers. Today I'm going to begin a short series and conclude it today, hopefully, and it is a subject of importance. My mother was my biggest fan. We didn't always see eye to eye, but she was a big proponent of my efforts to ensure the rightful application of America's laws. And so for this reason, I dedicate this series to her. Now, today we're going to discuss something that is extraordinarily important and frankly something that angers me deeply. Because what we are about to examine reveals one of the greatest dangers facing America today. Not merely corruption, not merely taxation, not merely bureaucracy, but the intellectual and constitutional ignorance of the very people elected to legislate. I have said this many times before, that many senators and congressmen serving in America today are just as ignorant, if not more so, than the average American regarding the actual operation of authority, jurisdiction, and constitutional limitation. And this problem is not unique to America. It exists throughout much of the modern world. Why? Because modern government increasingly operates through administration and presumption rather than through clearly defined constitutional authority. And when we elect men and women who do not understand the nature of lawful power itself, who do not understand the difference between authority and assumption, between jurisdiction and mere enforcement, those very people become the instruments through which free societies slowly lose their freedom. Now, let me be very candid. We often elect the worst among us. Not always the most evil, not always the most malicious, but often the most intellectually undisciplined, the most dependent upon talking points, the most politically ambitious, the most eager to be accepted by institutions they do not understand. And once inside those institutions, they begin speaking the language of administration, like fairness, compliance, complexity, efficiency, security, public good. But they rarely speak about constitutional limitation, delegated power, jurisdiction, or the lawful boundaries of government itself. And that is how republics deteriorate. Not usually through military conquest, but through gradual abandonment of constitutional structure. Today we are going to examine a real example involving a sitting United States senator, a constituent who follows the Liberty Dialogue's framework and participates in the Statement of Understanding program, submitted a respectful and lawful inquiry to Senator Ted Budd of North Carolina. This was not a hostile letter. It was not irrational. It was not threatening. It was not vulgar. It was a sincere request for constitutional clarification regarding federal taxation. The constituent asked simple questions. He asked what constitutional authority applies, what statute imposes the obligation, what jurisdiction places a private citizen within the taxable class, what delegated authority empowers the Internal Revenue Service to enforce these obligations against a private citizen domiciled in the state of North Carolina. Now think about this carefully. These are not absurd questions. They are foundational constitutional questions. Questions about authority, jurisdiction, application, delegated authority. Questions that every senator, congressman, judge, prosecutor, IRS agent, and attorney operating inside the federal system should be able to answer clearly and directly. And yet what happened? The senator did not answer them. That is in the next video. And as always, may truth reign supreme.